Hey, what's up people? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Desmond Z. If this is the first time that you've ever seen me. So, today we're here to talk about the Goodreads Choice Awards 2023. In previous videos, in the comments, people have asked me quite a bit, Desmond, do you have a Goodreads? Do you have a Goodreads? Do you have a Goodreads? No, I do not have a Goodreads. I basically just get on there to take a peek, to take a gander at books that I am reading or have read or that I'm thinking about reading, just to see what people are saying about it. And yeah, because I like to see what the people talking about. Okay, I like to know what they saying, and then I'll see if I agree or not, because some people, you may hate this book and I might love it. And if you're not aware, this is for books that were released November 17th 2022 through November 15th 2023. Those are the rules of eligibility. Okay, so for fiction, they have The Bee Sting by Paul Murray. I've never heard of this book. Mame by Jessica George. Congratulations to Jessica George. I'm always here for a black woman and you know, making strides and being recognized. But I, however, did not like that book, and I talked about how I did not like that book. That book was not for me. I think it was for a very different type of person. So yeah, Pineapple Street, I've seen that around a lot. I have not read Pineapple Street. Big Swiss, no. Short Heart, what? Shark Heart. I actually added this to my list like, I want to say 2 months ago, maybe. And this book is about, if I'm not mistaken, it's about a couple, a man and a woman, and the guy, I think he dies, or he enters this like weird new like scientific like trial where they put his heart into a shark, or his brain or something of that nature. And it seemed really interesting. I could just read the synopsis and yeah. For Louis and Ren, their first year of marriage is also their last. A few weeks after their wedding, Louis receives a rare diagnosis. He will retain most of his consciousness, memories, and intellect, but his physical body will gradually turn into a great white shark. As Louis develops the features and impulses of one of the most predatory creatures in the ocean. Okay, so I was close, but it wasn't no cigar. That does sound kind of interesting to me. I know it's kind of like fantasy, science fiction a bit, and those don't always work for me. Burnham Wood, I have never even heard of this. Oh, I've seen that cover. I've seen that cover before. The Invisible Hour, I've seen that around. Evil Eye. I talked about that in my last video. Yeah. In my return, I said that I was reading that. I'm not finished with it yet. Yeah. Blackouts by Justin Torres. Never heard of this. Don't know. What is this about? Okay, a little queer. Let's say it's queer. It seems like it's about a lot of stuff. I'm not really sure what's going on here, but I'm interested. The Connollys of County Down. I actually started this book. I think I read like the first 2 chapters, but I wasn't in the mood for it, so I stopped it. I need to go back and read that. Wellness. I've seen this book around a lot. I actually think I got a copy of that from Libro FM. And but I have yet to start it. Yeah. Hello, Beautiful. I read that book and I talked about how I was a bit disappointed. I was a bit disappointed with Hello Beautiful. It just was not the book for me. That is a reimagining, retelling. It's inspired by Little Women, I believe. And it's about these 4 sisters, you know, their family, I really love that author's book, Dear Edward. I've talked about it a million times. And I was hoping that I would enjoy Hello Beautiful as well, but I did not. It just wasn't for me. Family Meal. I actually read that book, and I'm going to talk about it in probably, even if not my next video, a video coming up soon. Family Meal by Brian Washington, who also wrote Memorial. Review coming soon for that one. Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. I read Yellowface. It did not do for me. Like, this whole year has really been, it's been a little topsy-turvy. It's been topsy and it's been turvy. Cause I sound like one of those people. It's like, damn, what the fuck do you like? And you keep saying this was just men, this was okay, this wasn't for you. It's like, what do you like? I swear, some things just never seem to work. Solange said it best. The reading experience for me in 2023 was just, but that's just me. 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 Okay? Yellowface, I did not dislike that book at all. It just, I feel like I said it when we were too much in the main character's head. And I get that's the main, like that's the point of the book. But it would, I don't know. For me, it just didn't fully work. But I didn't dislike the book. The Celebrants by Stephen Rowley. I read that book and I said that book gave me Will and Grace. And I enjoy Will and Grace. I said that about his last book as well. But more so this one, which isn't inherently a bad thing. It's just know that. The Wishing Game, I read that one. I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. I read The Wishing Game. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere. I read The Wishing Game. I really enjoyed The Wishing Game. Yeah. Next category. That was a lot. Best Historical Fiction. Hang the Moon. I have not read that. I have not heard of that. Did you hear about Kitty Carr? That's my pick. That's my choice. That should win. It's no competition. Did you hear about Kitty Carr? Is one of the best books I read this year. That was, when it comes to the topsy and the turvy, baby, let me tell you something. That is no question. It's no question. It's no question. That's one of the good ones. Okay, that's one of the good ones. Did you hear about Kitty Carr? It surprised me in so many ways. I did not expect to like that book as much as I did. I gave it like 4.5 stars. Now, listen. That book does have 2 timelines. The present storyline, I did not like at all. The present storyline, I did not like at all. The present storyline, I did not like at all. No offense to the author, but I still loved your book, girl. It was a lot of characters in this present day storyline, and they all kind of felt like the same character for me. But we spend most of the time in the past anyway with Kitty Carr, and read that book, y'all. That book was amazing, and that's her debut novel. Like, baby girl came out the gate swinging. She came out the gate swinging. That's my choice. That's my choice. The Keeper of Hidden Books, no. Go as a River, have never heard of it. The House of Eve. The House of Eve, I read that book. I've read it. I think I gave that book like 3.5 stars. I felt like that book may have just been the right book, wrong time. Or it was just personally just not for me. It wasn't a bad book by any means, but it was one of those books where you know what's going to happen. I said that when I reviewed it. You know what's going to happen, but I also don't think the author was trying to hide that. It was just about how we're getting there. That's exactly what I said. Yeah, that's what kind of book that is. It's kind of like a TV show or a movie, anything where we know what's going to happen here. We know what's going to play out, but it's not about that. It's about the journey getting there. It's about the climb. Wait, that's not how it goes. It ain't about how long I'll get in. It ain't about what's waiting on the other side. It's the climb. Yeah. River Sing Me Home. I have not read that book. The Covenant of Water. We've talked about my journey. We've talked about my struggle, my story with The Covenant of Water. There's no need to rehash that. Let Us Descend. I actually just bought that book, and I am going to read it probably within the next week. The Heaven and Earth Grocery Store. I bought that book. I tried to listen to the audiobook. It was not working for me. I bought the physical like a month or 2 months ago, maybe even longer. Still ain't picked it up. Northwoods, Looking for Jane, Banyan Moon. Yeah. Best Mystery and Thriller. Best Mystery and Thriller. That's fucking Beat It. That's not Thriller. What's wrong with me? That's Thriller. Okay, I have some questions for you. Don't Let Her Stay. Have never heard of that. Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murders. I really enjoyed that book. I think I gave that book like 4 stars. Yeah. I do remember me saying that whenever we left the main character, because we do get the point of view from different characters, but when it's not the main character, the book kind of went stale a bit. I feel like if that book had been told solely from the main character's point of view, it would have been a 5-star book for me. I love that main character. She was funny, she was nosy, she was messy, and it was just, I enjoyed that book, yes. All the Dangerous Things. I've heard good things about that book, but I have yet to read it. The Housemaid's Secret, Good Bad Girl, The Maid's Diary. The only one left, I think the last time I talked about the book, I said the last one or something. I kept getting the title wrong, but the only one left by Raleigh Sager. I gave that book, I think, like 3 stars. I know a lot of people love that book. It just did not do for me what it did for them. It's basically about this, it's set in like the 80s, I think. It's in the 80s, right? I could just look at the synopsis. Yeah, it's 1983, and home health aide Kit McDear arrives at a decaying Hope's Inn to care for Lenora after her previous nurse fled in the middle of the night. And Lenora is somebody who in the 1920s was accused of killing her entire family or something like that. The Villa. I told y'all how much I was let down by the Villa. I don't ever want to see the Villa again. Keep me away from the Villa, okay? Keep me away. What Lies in the Woods? I don't know what's in the woods, baby. The Last Devil to Die, The Coworker, Bright Young Women. Bright Young Women, I've seen that book around. I've only briefly scanned the synopsis. Had no idea it was a mystery and thriller. None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. Y'all remember when I had my whole journey through Lisa's back catalog, and yeah, The Leftover Woman. I've heard some things about The Leftover Woman. It's a lot of these books I have not read. Happiness Falls, I've seen that around. All the Sinners Bleed. There we go. No need. It's no competition. All the Sinners Bleed by the one, the only, the incomparable S.A. Cosby. I almost forgot his name for a second there, you know. It almost caught me up. All the Sinners Bleed by S.A. Cosby. Y'all already know. I'm president of the fan club. That's it for me. All the Sinners Bleed. Please read that book. Romance. In the Likely Event, I don't know. Perilous, I don't know. Happy Place by Emily Henry. I've read, I think, all of Emily Henry's books now. I read Beach Read, Book Lovers, People We Meet on Vacation, and Happy Place. I think she has like, what, 1 or 2 more. I think they're young adult books. I'm not sure. Any Hoosers. I have read 4 of her books now. Happy Place is like my least favorite. I did not enjoy that book at all. I think Beach Read might be my favorite. And then it's People We Meet on Vacation, then Book Lovers, and Happy Place. I did not like that book at all. Romantic comedy. That's my pick. Okay? Romantic Comedy was such a good book. It's about these people. What is it about? What is it about, Disney? It's about these people. This woman, she is a writer for basically an SNL type show. And then we have this like aged pop star who is like, he comes on as a guest and musical host. There's sparks flying while they work together for this week preparing for, you know, the live show on Saturday. You know, some little flirtatiousness goes on, and things end kind of in a weird way. They don't see or hear from each other in 3 years until it's like 2020. And, you know, the world has gone mad, even madder than it already is. And now they're like corresponding back and forth over emails, you know, things getting hot and heavy. And it was a good time. Okay? It was a good time. I had a good time with that book, okay? That's my vote. I think I gave that book like 4.5 stars. We don't even need to go through the rest of these. King of Pride, Love Theoretically, all these other people, they don't matter. Okay, they do not matter. Give it to romantic comedy. Best romantasy? Best romantasy. Fourth Wing is the only one I know here because I see so many people talk about it and it's not all good. And so yeah, we're gonna skip that. Best fantasy, once again, there's no need to get into this. Atlanta. Oh, that does not say Atlanta. Science fiction, same thing, Jared. Why waste our time? The Ferryman. The Ferryman, I actually think I was gonna read The Land of Milk and Honey. Land of Milk and Honey. That was recently released because I tried to read that like a couple of weeks ago. Did not work for me. Chain Gang All Stars is the only one that I've actually completely read on here. I did not enjoy that book, but it was because it was told in more so like short story form. They were all like interconnected, and that's like one of my least favorite ways. That's one of my least favorite ways to tell a story. I'm not a fan of short stories. And so it wasn't the actual like subject matter or like the writing style. It was just more so the delivery of the story is what did not sit well with me. So that book didn't work. Horror, scurry. I won't know any of these either because I don't read horror. Yeah, Becoming the Boogeyman. Oh, Lone Women. I know Lone Women. Hold up. Let's back it up. I was wrong. Okay, I know one of these. Lone Women by Victor LaValle. I read that book. I think I gave like 3.5 stars. No. I don't think I rated that book at all because I said I was just kind of lost on how to rate it. And I kind of still don't know how I feel about the book. Yeah. I mean, it got some oogly booglies, some monsters and some monsters up in there. But I mean, you know, I wasn't shaking in my boots. It didn't shiver me timbers. So, I don't really know. I still don't know how I feel about that book. And maybe I'm not supposed to. Maybe it'll hit me one day 6 months from now. Because that's what good art does. One day you just sitting washing dishes and you just go, damn. Remember that? Remember you read that? Remember you watched that? I get it now. So maybe. The Reformatory, I have that book. I just borrowed that book. I just borrowed that from Libby. So I have that. Yeah. Vampires of El Norte. I tried to read that book. It did not work for me. Silver Nitrate. I tried to read that book. It did not work for me. How to Sell a Haunted House. I tried to read that book. It did not work for me. Mr. Magic. I tried to read that book. It did not work for me. So it's not that I don't read horror. I try to. It just don't work for me. So like I'm trying. I'm out here trying, y'all. Like I did not expect to know this many books on this in these nominees. For the nominees, I did not expect to know this many. Best young adult fantasy and science fiction. I won't know any of these because I rarely read young adult books. Best young adult fiction. Let's just see if I know any of these. No, I don't. The Davenports. I've seen that. I've heard good things about the Davenports. Yeah. Highly suspicious and fairly cute. I've heard good things about that. We Deserve Monuments. I've heard good things about that. Yeah. Okay, best debut novel. The September House. I keep my exoskeletons to myself. The Bandit Queens. I really wanted to love The Bandit Queens. It didn't work for me. I think I DNF'd it, yeah. Beyond That, The Sea, Inkblood, Sister Scribe, In Memoriam, Chain Gang All Stars, Pineapple Street, Looking for Jane, The Collective Regrets of Clover, One Summer in Savannah. I tried. One Summer in Savannah, I really want to read that book. I tried to listen to the audio book for that. And I don't know what was going on. I don't want to criticize and be disrespectful. But I was listening to the audio book, and after every single sentence, that narrator took a breath so deep, inhaled so deeply. There was no airlift in the room after the narrator inhaled, because it was after every sentence. Today, once upon a time, we walked down the street and we saw the girl was looking to the left. We walked across the street. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? Why are we breathing? Why are we inhaling so deeply? And why did we edit and publish this and say it was okay? That was not okay. That was not okay. Did the author hear that? And did the author give the okay for that? Did the publishers hear that and give the okay for that? Did the narrator listen back and say, yes, that was my best work, I don't mean no disrespect. I don't mean no harm. But it's just a simple, like, how was I supposed to listen to that? How was I supposed to listen to that? Tell me how am I supposed to listen to that? Like, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. There's no way. River Sing Me Home, The Wishing Game, Monstrilio, Adelaide, Mame, Wayward, Short Card. Did you hear about Kitty Car, Banyan Moon? I gotta go with Kitty Car. I gotta go with Kitty Car, no question, for best debut novel. Best memoir and autobiography. Oh, I already know. I don't even gotta look at the nominees. I know it's going to Brittany. I know it's going to Brittany. Thicker Than Water by Kerry Washington. I do need to read that. I need to read that. How to Say Babylon, The In-Between, Unforgettable Encounters During Life's Final Moments, A Living Remedy, Counting the Cost, Spare. I forgot that came out like within the last year. Love Pamela by Pamela Anderson. Page Boy by Elliot Page. More things, more people. The Woman in Me by Britney Spears. Tell Me Everything by Minka Kelly. I really feel like it's going to Britney. They gonna give it's Britney. It's Britney, bitch. But I do need to read Carrie Hilson's. Kerry Washington. Those are all the categories. Have you read any of these? I'm sure y'all read some. I'm sure y'all read some of them. It was quite a few. I was just like, I feel like last year, I was just like, oh, I've seen this. I read that. I read this. I read that. I read that. And so I was able to read. I was able to just give my opinion more. But a lot of it was just, oh, I don't know about this. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know. Because this year it's been a wild one. It's been a wild one. It has. So let me know down in the comments, what are you rooting for? Do you even care about Goodreads Choice Awards? Because all in all, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I mean, if I wrote a book and then somebody was like, oh, you were nominated, oh, I'd be honored. You know, if I won, oh, I'd be even more honored. They don't cut me a check. Then, you know, I'd appreciate it. I'm not gonna say I wouldn't, but also at the end of the day, I know that it is a popularity contest, and you know, as long as you wrote your book, published it, and somebody enjoyed it, somebody was touched by your story, that's all that matters. So let me know down in the comments, what are you rooting for? Will you be voting? Do you care? Yes or no? Let me know. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. I will see you in my next one. Thank you for watching. Bye.